Let's take a look at some multi-step equations here now. So some notes on these here. So first thing to understand is what we call inverse operations. Inverse operations undo each other. Okay? And that would be things like addition. What undoes addition? Well, subtraction does, right? And what undoes subtraction? Well, addition does. And then our other two operations would be multiplication. What undoes multiplication? And that would be division. Alright? So those are inverse operations there. They undo each other. We also have things like squaring and square roots. Okay? And we're also going to see some problems that come up with mean. A mean in math is just an average. So to solve multi-step equations here, we want to simplify and then isolate the variable. Simplify first and then isolate the variable. And the last step will be usually to solve by multiplying or dividing. So let's try a couple examples. So if we have something like 3x plus 2 equals, let's make that 14. Well, we wanted to simplify. Well, let's make it a little more interesting here. Let's make this. I'll give it a 6 here. Okay, that's a little more interesting. Now, first thing to do is simplify. What can we do to squeeze this together? We got the 6 and the 2. Let's put that together. Now I need to isolate the variable. So we already got the variables on one side. There's no variables on this side. And so let's go ahead and subtract the 8. And 3x equals 6. And then finally we want to finish it off. The variables are all by themselves on this side. And we got constants on the right side. So let's divide by 3. And x equals 2. Okay? So what if we have variables on both sides? Like 3x plus 2 this way equals 2x minus 5. Well, first thing we need to do is simplify the left side by distributing. And we get 3x plus 6. Then we want to get all the variables on one side. Right now the variables are on two sides, 3x and 2x. So we need to move those. So we pick a side. Doesn't matter which side you pick. Let's go ahead and move them off of the right side. So to get them off the right side, we need to subtract it. That's going to make this 0. And so those are going to cancel, leaving us with a negative 5. Don't forget to bring down the minus sign here. It's negative. And so we have 3x minus 2x is 1x plus 6. Now we got all the variables on one side. That's good. Let's get this constant out here, plus 6. Do the inverse operation, subtract, and we get x equals negative 11. That's 11. Okay? That's the idea. Okay? And how about if we got some division in the mix? Let's try x over 5 plus 3 equals 7. Well, first thing we want to do is, this is called a variable term. Let's leave that alone. Get this constant out of here. Subtract 3, and that gives us 4. Now remember, this is a fraction. Fraction means division. So how do we undo division? Well, the opposite of division is multiplication. So let's multiply by the 5, because we want to get rid of the 5. So multiply both sides by 5. Dividing by 5 and multiplying by 5 are inverse. That's going to undo each other. X divided by 5 times 5, well, that's just going to be x, and that's what we want. And we have 20. Okay. Last one, kind of a similar problem. Let's say we have this, x plus 3 over 5. Well, now notice the x plus 3 is all over the 5. So we got to get that 5 out of the first. Here, we could get rid of the 3 before we touch the 5. Don't try to mess with the 5. Don't multiply this by 5 first. Get rid of the 3. But in this case, the whole x plus 3 is on top. So now, we've got to multiply by 5. Because when we have x plus 3 divided by 5 times 5, these cancel, leaving us with x plus 3. Equals 7 times 5 is 35. Then we're going to subtract 3, and we're done. Okay? So that's the idea there. There's some basic steps for some multi-step equations. Make sure you simplify first, then distribute. That's part of simplifying, distributing. Then isolate the variable, and then you're going to solve by multiplying and dividing. So go to the next page now and try those sample problems.